Good day, everybody. How's it going? Rob Tomlinson, aka DishNet34 here, welcoming you to today's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 190. 198. Can you believe that we are 2 weeks away from 200 episodes? 200! We're almost there! It's freaking fantastic, man. That is fantastic. Man, I'm glad that y'all are here today because we have, one of my favorite content sets of pretty much any perfect team. It is our Negro League collection, our first set of them here today. Oh man, we've had so many great cards from these collections over the years, and today is going to be no different. All right. I'm looking forward to this, y'all. I hope you are too. And, I just hope you're having a great week so far. I know it's been a little bit stressful for you, boy. I mean, I only, as of the noon stream, I really only finalized these slides like a couple hours ago. So, I'm going to be relying a little bit on Wikipedia and some baseball reference for our statistical analysis and historical analysis today. And as Sporer is saying in the chat, there are 17 first-time perfect team players in this set. We're not going to go over now we're not going to go over everybody that is in the set. We tried that last year with the first Negro League set, and that went a little bit long, and so we're gonna have like a slide at the end with like a good number of players that didn't make the stream but are still in the set, and even then we couldn't fit everybody in to this set. So we just have a ton of cards that are dropping here today. Plus stay tuned because we might have a little bit of an extra surprise at the end for y'all. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? All right, let's go ahead and get things started. And speaking of baseball reference, I absolutely adore baseball reference. Now, while I peruse Fangraphs sometimes, I am a baseball reference stan. A lot of the stats you see here, they come from baseball reference. All right. It's one of my favorite baseball websites out there. And you know what's even better about baseball reference? It is Stathead Baseball, powered by Baseball Reference. And you can get in on the action as well by using code 23 OOTP 25 for $25 off an annual baseball or all sports subscriptions. And especially when it comes to Negro League stats, Baseball Reference does a fantastic job of compiling stats of a lot of the players that you're going to be seeing tonight. They've done a lot of extensive research. They've done a whole lot of stuff to bring you these stats from, one of the more influential leagues, or at least the most influential collection of leagues that there has ever been in baseball history. So Stathead, they're pretty darn cool. Baseball Reference is pretty darn cool. And they have a pretty darn cool service with Stathead. $25 off an annual baseball or all sports subscription. And it is not just baseball. It is football. It is basketball. It is hockey. Holy cow. 23 OTP 25 is the code at checkout. Offer expires July 1st, 2023. Get your subscription to Stathead today. All right, let's go ahead. You know what? We're just going to dive right into the content today. Negro Leagues won the first batch of Negro League cards in Perfect Team 24. And yes, I counted. That is the correct number of how many packables there are in this set. We have 69 packable cards in total today. And, we're going to give you a taste of what you'll find in packs. We have slides on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of those cards. 4 of them are going to be mission rewards. So let's talk about the Negro League's missions that you're going to see along with this card set today. So there's going to be 3 missions for the Negro League set that will be released today. There's going to be a Fielder's mission, there's going to be a Hurler's 1 mission, and there's going to be a Hurler's 2 mission. Now, collect a certain amount of the players in each collection, as always, and you'll receive a topper card. Pretty simple. Complete all 3 missions, receive a topper for the program. Is that doggone simple how these missions work? Kind of the same thing we've done in previous Negro League missions. Pretty good stuff. Need some pitching. My outfield is stupid crowded. Hey, Frostcrest, I am with you there. I need pitching in a bad way, but you know what? Speaking of pitching, here's our first player of the Negro League set today, and it is 76 overall, Leon Day, a right-handed pitcher from the Negro League collection. 103 stuff, 71 movement, 66 home run rating, 81 pitcher BABIP, and 63 control. Pretty darn even splits against both lefties and righties. Against lefties, 103 stuff, 71 movement, 66 home run, 80 PBABIP, and 63 control. And against righties, 104 stuff, 72 movement, 66 home run rating, 81 pitcher BABIP, and 63 control as well. So very, very doggone close to each other in terms of the splits here. He's got a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup combo, 51 stamina, 87 on the hold runners. He can pitch, and he can also play a little tiny bit of second base. So a little bit of utility here in that as well. In his career as a pitcher from 1934 to 1946, again, all these stats come from Baseball Reference, 50-22 record of 3.58, ERA 6.3, strikeouts per 9. Now, Leon Day, in the 1937 season for the Newark Eagles, this was a phenomenal season, all right? Had a 13-0 record. All right, this was according to, I think, Wikipedia or so, a 300 average as well. It kind of shows up in Baseball Reference as like a 3-0 record. However, there was, oh gracious, 1937. Yeah, he put a 13-0 season in 1937, coupled by a 302 earned run average, about 320 batting average as well, and 8 home runs, according to Wikipedia as well. That 1937 season is just fantastic for Leon Day. He was also a 1995 Baseball Hall of Fame induction via the Veterans Committee. And actually, another fun fact about Leon Day, on July 31st, 1942, he set a Negro League record for strikeouts in a single game, striking out 18 batters from the Baltimore Elite Giants in a one-hit shutout. And the only hit manufactured that day was a bloop single to left field out of the bat of someone named Pee Wee Butts. Now, his real name was Thomas Lee Butts. Pee Wee was his nickname. So that's a fun one. We probably need to find a way to get Pee Wee Butts into the second Negro League set. Paul, we need to get on this. But anyway, this is a fantastic card. Lots of stuff. Pretty decent movement and control for silver card. Very good curveball. He was definitely known a lot for his curveball. Probably one of the best curveballs in the Negro Leagues. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So there you go, Leon Day. There's his pitching stats. Here's a little bit of his batting stats, just for the record. 54 contact, 62 gap, 13 power, 49 I, and 44 on the avoid K. Just some basic batting stats there. Really nothing too much to write home about, to be honest. All right, so there you go. Leon Day, 76 overall, is it. Perfect Team 24. All right. But if we want to talk about, one of the more influential Negro League players that did make a little bit of a transition into Major League Baseball, but not as a player, this guy is the epitome of that. Probably one of the best people that played in the Negro Leagues. And that, my friends, is 79 overall, first baseman, Buck ONeill. 79 overall, has a 91 BABIP, 30 power, 67 avoid K, 86 contact, 85 gap power, and 87 on the eye. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. However, it is not by much. Honestly, there's really, again, some minimal splits here. 92 BABIP, 30 power, 68 avoid K, 86 contact, 85 gap, and 89 eye against lefties. Very similar against righties. 91 BABIP, 30 power, 67 avoid K, 86 contact, 85 gap, and 87 on the eye. 55 speed, 77 stealing, and 66 on the base running as well. Decent defensively, 49 range, 39 error, 42 arm, and 36 on the double play. Man, oh man, Buck ONeill. I mean, what more can you say about Buck ONeill? He played first base in the Negro Leagues, mostly with the Kansas City Monarchs. After his playing days, though, he was the first African-American coach in Major League Baseball. He was a scout as well after his playing days, and he had a major role in establishing the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. He was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2022 as an executive. But man, oh man, he was pretty darn good as a player too. Hit 256, 316, 357, 12 homers and 185 RBI in his career from 1937 to 1950. This is a pretty good contact hitting card right here, straight up. Now this guy, very good contact hitting, is going to get you a lot of BABIP probably. A lot of base hits. Not going to get a lot of power out of this first base card. And I know a lot of people really like power out of their first baseman card. I do too, personally. So, but Buck ONeill, this, yeah. And I agree. The Negro League Hall of Fame is a must visit. And to be honest, I went to Kansas City several years ago to visit some family down there. And one of my biggest regrets was not making it to the Negro League Museum. Next time I am in Kansas City, I am 100% making it a mission to go to the Negro League Baseball Museum, because it's fantastic. It is a fantastic place. I definitely need to go. I feel weird having not gone yet as a baseball fan. I feel like it's a place that every baseball fan should go to at least once in their lives to see the history of these incredible players, these incredible leagues, and all that good stuff. So, oh gracious, now I'm getting emotional. A place I've never visited. All right, but there you go, Buck ONeill, one of the more influential people to help keep the history of the Negro Leagues alive and everything. So there you go, Buck ONeill is it. Perfect Team 24. All righty, next up, let's go back to the pitcher's mound and let's go to some gold cards. We got a couple of gold cards here that we'll be showing off for you today. And the first one we have for you is a left-handed starter. One of my favorite names in this set. It is 81 overall, Steel Arm Davis. Steel Arm Davis, a kind of a two-way player here. 71 stuff, 68 movement, 67 home run rating, 65 pitcher BABIP, and 56 on the control. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. Real kind of a little bit of pronounced splits here. 74 stuff, 70 movement, 70 homers, 68 pitcher BABIP, and 57 control against lefties. Versus righties, a little tiny bit worse. 70 stuff, 67 movement, 66 homer, 64 pitcher BABIP, 56 on the control. Has a fastball slider changeup combo, 78 stamina, 77 on the hold runners. Now, in Perfect Team 23, if you recall, Steel Arm Davis was not listed as a pitcher. He was listed, I believe, as a first base card. So you got a little bit of the batting stats there. We're going to take a look at those in just a little second, but he can do a little bit of pitching. He can do a little bit of pitching as well. Played from 1920 to about 1935 or so. Played mainly for the Chicago American Giants, but man, oh man, he could hit and he could pitch a little bit too. In his career on the mound, he only pitched like about 21 games in his career. 21 games, 12 of them in 1923 for the Detroit Stars. Hey, Detroit Stars, nice. 66 in the third innings during that year. So, but what you're coming here for is his hitting abilities. Now, he can play first base, left field, and right field. So, he can play the field a little bit. Definitely play the field a little bit. Contact of 74, 68 gap power, 61 power, 71 I, and 53 on the avoid K. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties at the plate. And he can improve a little bit at left field. So there you go. Steel Arm Davis. He played 442 games as a hitter and was player manager for the San Antonio Black Missions for a little bit as well. Hit 323, 378, 479, 26 homers, and 290 RBI. So there you go. Steel Arm Davis is in Perfect Team 24. Pretty good, kind of as a two-way guy, pretty much. Not bad. Not bad. All right, next up. Oh, man. This is a Perfect Team favorite card from the Negro League set just because of this guy's versatility while also being, kind of a lower level card in all things considered. So our next card today is 87 overall right fielder Willard Brown. Willard Brown, 81 BABIP, 71 power, 59 avoid K, 86 contact, 91 gap power, and 48 on the eye. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. 81 BABIP, 71 power, 60 avoid K, 87 contact, 92 gap, and 48 on the eye. But, it's not that much that he's a little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. Pretty similar splits against righties. 81 BABIP, 71 power, 59 avoid K, 86, 91, and 48. So pretty close. Pretty close. 57 speed, 86 stealing, and 72 base running. Look at the positional flexibility that you have with this card. He's mainly a right fielder. However, he can play left. He can play second. He can play third. And he can play shortstop. He is already fully trained at shortstop, which is pretty valuable if I do say so myself. But defensively, it's going to be a little bit in the medium range when it comes to defensive ratings. 72 range, 64 error, 70 arm, and 69 on the turn double play on his infield ratings. 67 outfield range, 63 error, and 67 on the outfield arm. Now, Willard Brown, pretty darn good player in his career, hit 351, 398, 579 with 54 home runs and 391 RBI in his career. He led the Negro American League in hits 8 times in his career, and his 8 times leading a league in hits is tied with some guy named Ty Cobb for the most in baseball history. That's pretty darn cool. And his 7 times leading an RBI for a league is tied for second most in baseball history with, some guy you may or may not have heard of, Josh Gibson. That is some rarefied air that Willard Brown has. Now, a little fun fact about Willard Brown, he actually did make it into MLB for a little bit in the 1947 season. Played 21 games that year with I believe the St. Louis Browns. The Browns, they kind of stunk at the time. And actually on July 20th, Willard Brown and Hank Thompson played against the Boston Red Sox, and it was the first time that 2 black players had appeared in an MLB game together. And he became the first African-American player to hit a home run in the American League, hitting an inside-the-park homer off of some guy named Hal Newhouser. Again, Willard Brown, statistical rarefied air. Now, unfortunately, that was probably the only highlight of his MLB career. He hit just 179 in his 21 games between July 19th and August 21st and was eventually released by the Browns. But that winter in 1947, went down to Puerto Rico, and the dude hit .432 with 27 homers in 60 games. Won the Puerto Rican Winter League Triple Crown in 1949 and 1950. Pretty cool stuff. And actually returned to the Kansas City Monarchs for the 1948 season, played in 44 games, hit .404. So this guy, pretty darn cool right here. All right, so there you go. Willard Brown is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, let's start looking at some diamond cards. Let's start looking at some diamond cards today, y'all. And we start with a right-handed starter, 91 overall, Rube Curry. Rube Curry, 80 stuff, 74 movement, 69 home run rating, 81 pitcher BABIP, and 89 on the control. Pretty even splits once again. The only real difference between left and right is the stuff. Going to get about 1 point more of stuff than you will against lefties, 80 versus 79. It's got a fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup combo. 95 stamina, but woo boy, 95 stamina and 4 on the hold runners. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hold runners. Now, he's got a little bit of positional flexibility as well, since Negro League players, usually they would play both ways. A lot of players would play pitcher and then play the field a little bit, maybe during some double headers. He can play pitcher, first base, left field, center field, and right field. So little bit of positional flexibility there for this diamond card. But mainly you want to use him as a pitcher, all right? Because these batting ratings, not a whole lot to really write home about. 31 contacts, 18 power, 51 eye. It's a little bit on the meh side there. But what was not meh was Rube Curry's career. Had a career record of 82 and 59, a 3.47 ERA, 4.2 strikeouts per 9. He was nicknamed Black Snake or King. A couple of pretty good nicknames there, if you ask me. And he played in all 4 Negro World Series games, well, or at least series, from 1924 through 1927. That's a pretty darn cool accomplishment right there. He was also described by baseball writer James A. Riley as one of the best pitchers of the 1920s. Pretty much known for his curveball and his control, and that's kind of reflected here in this card. 91 curveball, 89 control, pretty darn good for a low diamond card like this one. So there you go. He actually managed in later years as well, coaching the East team in the 1936 East-West game for the Negro Leagues as well. So there you go. Rube Curry, 91 overall, is in. Perfect team 24. Now, if you wanted to see his batting ratings, there they are. Not much home to write about. 209, 247, 270 career hitting, 3 homers, 47 RBI. There's that. All right, next up, let's shoot up all the way to High Diamond, y'all. Let's shoot up all the way to High Diamond for our next card of the day. And, oh man, you want to talk about powerful first basemen that have been in Negro League sets over the years. This, oh man, this guy is the definition of that. Ladies and gentlemen, 99 overall first baseman, Buck Leonard. Buck Leonard, 91 BABIP, 86 power, 73 avoid K, 105 contact, 83 gap power, and 95 on the eye. Ooh, boy, that is some really darn good hitting stats right there. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties by a few points in different categories. 92 BABIP, 87 power, 73 avoid K, 106 contact, 84 gap, and 96 eye just against righties. Speed, stealing, and base running, you got 46, 77, and 62 down the line there. Excuse me. Defensively, pretty decent over at first base. 57 range, 57 error, 60 arm, and 60 turnover play, but this guy, strictly a first baseman. He bat fourth for the Homestead Grays for most of his career between 1934 and 1950. Probably, we don't have a whole lot of baseball reference stats here for his, let me figure out something here, because I may or may not have the wrong stats here, but I do want to check something. And now baseball reference is being a little slow right now, but, oh, sir, okay. Hang on, y'all, hang on. We're getting there, We're probably crashing baseball reference right now, probably, but oh well, we're doing this live. 346, 453, 593 in his career with 97 homers, 548 RBI. Now, he usually led the league or finished second in homers during the seasons to Josh Gibson, which is pretty darn cool. But yeah, he played with the Homestead Grays between 1934 and 1950. So yeah, probably got the numbers wrong in the years that he played. That's my bad. I will take full responsibility. And since Josh Gibson was known as the Black Babe Ruth and Leonard was a first baseman, naturally, he was inevitably nicknamed the Black Lou Gehrig. And for darn good reason, this guy was a solid hitter. And together, the pair was colloquially known as the Thunder Twins or the Dynamite Twins, he and Josh Gibson. Pretty cool stuff right there. Actually led the Negro Leagues in batting average in 1948 with a mark of .395. Led the league in homers 3 times, had 11 of them in 1939, 8 of them in 1940, and 13 in the 1941 season. One of the more fascinating seasons in Buck Leonard's career. 1938 for the Homestead Grays. Get a load of this batting line, all right, guys? .420 batting average, 500 on base, 740 slugging percentage, 9 homers, 53 RBI, 42 games, led the league in triples with 5, 11 doubles, 63 hits in total, a .223 OPS plus. These are Just absolutely insane batting line right there. Probably the best batting line of his career. That's some awesome stuff right there. And Buck Leonard, just an awesome player. Played in the Negro Leagues, played in the Mexican League for a few years as well, beginning in 1951. And actually in 1952, Buck Leonard was offered a major league contract, but according to him, he believed that at age 45, he was too old and might, quote unquote, embarrass himself and hurt the cause of integration. So he stayed in Mexico through 1955, playing for a few teams down there. And actually, he made his only appearance in organized baseball, playing for the unaffiliated Portsmouth Merrimacs of the Class B Piedmont League, hitting .333 in 10 games and 46 at-bats. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1972, along with Josh Gibson. So there you go, Buck Leonard, first base card in Perfect Team 24. Now, a lot of people were throwing out names in the chat of who might be in this set. And, I think a couple of you threw out this guy's name. And you guys would be correct that he is in this set. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody get DRC Nomads on the line, because your next player in this set is 99 overall shortstop, Pop Lloyd. John Henry Lloyd. 80 BABIP, 35 power, 75 avoid K, 80 contact, 85 gap, and 71 on the eye. Now, this guy, not known for his bat. Not known for his bat, but, ooh boy, the defense and the running, that's what you're getting this card for. No training required on this guy as well. He can play first. He can play second. He can play third. He can play short. He can play a little bit of right field. 89 range, 88 error, 91 arm, 94 on the turn double play. So I guess with the range, error, arm, and double play combo, might be a little bit better as a second baseman than he would be as a shortstop. Now, probably don't want to put him in the outfield, okay? Because you see that range, see that error, see that arm? 50 range, 56 error, and 50 on the arm. But man, look at the speed, stealing, and base running on this guy here. 100 speed, 100 stealing, 100 base running, 100 on the bunt for hit. We do not talk about his sack bunt rating. Oh, gracious. But, Pop Lloyd, despite the low batting ratings, probably one of the better contact hitting players in the Negro Leagues in his time period. Hit .349, 400, 465, 16 homers, 308 RBI. How many stolen bases did this guy have in his career? I need to look this up here. He had, well, Baseball Reference is slow to load. Man, I think we overload the Baseball Reference servers on these streams every single week. I think we figured that out already. Now, those listings there are just from, the 1920s, but he played a lot of baseball before the 1920s. Played mostly in the early 1900s. We don't have a whole lot of stats from those time period, from that time period, unfortunately. But a lot of people do regard him, a lot of baseball writers, a lot of his baseball historians pretty much say that he was the greatest shortstop in Negro League history. He was just that good. But yeah, he had plenty of stolen bases in his career. I don't have the number in front of me right now, unfortunately, but it's probably pretty much up there right there. So there you go. John Henry Lloyd, a.k.a. Pop Lloyd, in Perfect Team 24. Now, maybe a little bit more about John Henry Lloyd here. Let's go to let's go with this. So pretty much Pop Lloyd, he began his professional career in 1905 actually as a catcher for the Acmes of Macon, Georgia. Then he moved over to second base with the Cuban ex-Giants of Philadelphia in 1906. And then the following year, Sol White, one of the more influential players in early Negro League history, signed him for the ex-Giants arch rivals, the Philadelphia Giants, and moved him to shortstop. And that's pretty much, how he became the shortstop we kind of know him as today. So there you go. In 1921, Pop Lloyd was hired to organize a new team in Rube Foster's Young Negro National League. And he, I believe, was a manager of that team. Yes, the Columbus Buckeyes. However, they weren't a successful team, unfortunately. And the following year, he was back managing the Bacharach Giants, who had moved to New York City. Now, Lloyd, honestly, despite this, he was kind of a heavy hitter, good contact hitter as well. Expert place hitter, and pretty good at button for hit as well. And Babe Ruth reportedly believed Pop Lloyd to be the greatest baseball player ever. So pretty cool stuff right there. All right, let's move on to some perfect cards. But yeah, we only have stats from him from age 37 to 45. So these numbers right here, they don't tell the whole story, which is unfortunate, but well, here we are. All right, let's go to one more diamond player before we get into some perfect cards. Let's see what we got here. We have, this is a fun one right here. We have 99 overall left-handed starter, Nip Winters. Nip Winters, 95 stuff, 79 movements, 72 home run rating, 92 pitcher BABIP, and 71 on the control. Fastball, curveball, forkball, changeup, and cutter combo. Tiny bit better against righties than he is against lefties. You're going to get a couple points of difference in a lot of these categories. But yeah, I agree. This is a huge jump from his bronze card in Perfect Team 23. 96 stuff, 80 movements, 72 home run rating, 92 pitcher BABIP, and 71 control just against righties. Yeah, he was a bronze tournament god back in Perfect Team 23. And he's going to be pretty decent as a diamond here in Perfect Team 24. 97 stamina, 63 on the hold runners. Can play a little bit of first base and center field as well. And we'll show off his hitting stats here a little bit. Pretty splitty. 61 contact, 59 gap, 53 power, 50 eye, and 54 on the avoid K. A lot better against righties with 65 contact, 61 gap, 55 power, 53 eye, and 56 on the avoid K. Now, Nip Winters in his career from 1923 to 1932 went 89 and 42, a 3.55 ERA, a 1.27 ERA plus. That's pretty darn cool right there. He led the Negro Leagues in wins 4 times in his career and is considered by many sports writers to be one of the top left-handed pitchers of his time in the Negro Leagues. And this card really, really does go hard. I do agree here. You're going to get some pretty good pitcher BABIP here, which has been pretty solid so far. Going to get some stuff, so you're going to get some strikeouts from Nip Winters. Hold runners, not bad. 90 to 92 on the velocity as well. Plus, you're getting a little bit of hitting as well with this guy. Could be kind of a two-way player. Maybe not the best two-way player, but definitely up there in terms of quality as well. Yeah, and reverse splits as well. This guy's a lefty, has a little bit better stats against righties. He doesn't even have a screwball. Pretty darn cool. So there you go, Nip Winters. Let's talk a little bit about Nip Winters' career here, all right? Because this guy, kind of interesting. Pretty much played for many of the top Eastern teams from 1920 to 1933. And at age 53, Winters received votes listing him on the 1952 Pittsburgh Courier player-voted poll of the Negro League's best players ever. Played for the Norfolk Stars, played for the Baltimore Black Sox, the Atlantic City Baccarat Giants, the Hillsdale Club, played for the New York Lincoln Giants for a couple years, Homestead Grays for a year. Lot of teams this guy played for. So there you go. NIP winners in Perfect Team 24. All right, let's go to some perfect cards, and let's go to some familiar names in our previous Negro League collection. And we start, oh man, with probably one of the speediest guys that you guys absolutely love. You want speed? You want a little bit of defense? This guy is your man. It is 100 overall. Cool Papa Bell. Cool Papa Bell. 85 BABIP, 58 power, 79 avoid K, 91 contact, 89 gap power, 81 on the eye. A little bit better against righties than it is against lefties, but it is not by much. 85 BABIP, 59 power, 79 avoid K, 92 contact, 90 gap power, 81 eye, just against righties. He can play left. He can play center. He can play right. He can play a tiny bit of first base as well. 88 range, 76 error, and 80 arm. But you know what? The defense don't matter. The hitting don't matter. You're looking at those blue bars right above my head for speed, stealing, and base running. 104 speed, 107 stealing, 106 base running. For this part of the cycle, that is a pretty darn good triple speed, stealing, base running right there. Nelly. Oh man, but Cool Papa Bell, this guy was a speed merchant throughout his entire career. 325, 394, 446 in his career, 57 homers, 596 RBI. And he was considered one of the fastest players to ever play the game of baseball. 285 career stolen bases. 285. And let me tell you, there are still plenty of stories about Cool Papa Bell's speed that are still widely circulated today. Oh man, oh man. Yeah, pitchers tried to avoid issuing walks to Bell because he was often able to steal both second base and third base and scoring a run on the next play. And Bell could also sometimes score a run if he was on first base and the batter got a base hit. That's how fast he was. And he led the Detroit Stars to league titles in 1928, 1930, and 1931. Played alongside guys like Willie Wells, Mule Suttles. This guy, again, rarefied air right here. So there you go. Cool Papa Bell, but did you know that he originally signed with the Compton Hill Cubs as a pitcher? That's right. This guy can pitch a little bit too. 73 stuff, 63 movement, 64 home run rating, 57 pitcher BABIP, and 67 on the control. Fastball, curveball, changeup combo here. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. This guy can be a little bit of a two-way player here. 106 stamina, 53 on the hold runner. Folks, 90 to 92 on the fastball as well. Ground ball guy. Not bad. Went 20 and 15 with a 4.53 ERA, 49 games pitching in his Negro League career, 98 ERA plus, so maybe not the best pitcher around, but given that, given that he was mainly an outfielder for the most part, not bad at all. Pitched in parts of 6 seasons, mainly from 1922 to 1924, kind of early on in his career. So there you go. Cool Papa Bell from the Negro League collection is in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty. Alright, let's move on with Cool Papa Bell. And you know what? A lot of people were anticipating this card when I've mentioned a couple of power hitters in this set. But now we can finally say he is in this set. Ladies and gentlemen, 100 overall, Heavy Johnson. Heavy Johnson, 99 BABIP, 71 power, 70 avoid K, 104 contact, 99 gap power, 62 on the eye. Pretty even-ish splits against both lefties and righties. 100 BABIP, 73 power, 71 avoid K, 106 contact, 101 gap power, and 63 on the eye against lefties alone. This guy is a solid hitter. 58 speed, 76 stealing, 85 base running, 84 sack bunt, 91 on the bunt for hit. Has a little bit of positional versatility as well. 66 catcher, 58 at first base, shortstop, left field, center field, right field. He can play quite a few positions here. 77 range, 69 error, 70 arm, 72 on the turn double play in the infield, 72 range, 68 error, and 67 arm in the outfield. Heavy Johnson, real first name was Oscar, and he was one of the foremost power hitters of the 1920s in the Negro Leagues, reportedly weighing somewhere around 250 pounds and known for hitting the ball out of any park. Holy moly. He was actually the first member of the Kansas City Monarchs to hit a home run at the new Kansas City Municipal Stadium back when it first opened way back in the day. This guy hit 370, 428, 592, 57 career home runs, 423 RBI. There are stories that he once hit a pinch hit home run with a fungo bat. Now, for any of my baseball heads out there, for any of my baseball nuts out there, you know how hard it is to, hit dingers with a fungo bat, right? I mean, hit pretty much anything but grounders with a fungo bat. That's incredible. That is incredible. It's kind of like a practice bat kind of thing. You know what I mean? Crazy. Yeah, fun go far indeed. And let me tell you, Heavy Johnson, this card, more of a gap hitter, more of a contact hitter. Yeah, so you're gonna get some, but you're gonna get a little bit of power out of him as well. 71 power. Some might see it as maybe a little bit low, but yeah, that's not bad. Let's see. Yeah, that Funko Bat thing. Fungo Bat. Former pitcher Bill Plunk Drake said that Johnson was once sleeping on the bench when he was awoken and told to pinch hit, and he grabbed a Fungo Bat and hit a home run. So pretty much he was sleeping on the bench, grabbed the first bat he saw, smacked the dinger. I mean, how badass is that? How badass is that? So there you go. Heavy Johnson, 100 overall, in Perfect Team 24. All right, we have one more packable card. One more packable card to show off for you tonight. And that is probably one of the most versatile athletes to play baseball. And that, my friends, is 100 overall shortstop card, Martine Digo. Martine Digo, 76 BABIP, 88 power, 75 avoid K, 95 contact, 68 gap power, and 81 on the eye. Pretty much even splits against both lefties and righties. However, this guy can pretty much play anywhere. First base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, center field, right field. This guy can play pretty much any position other than catcher or pitch. Well, pretty much anything other than catcher. 93 rating at first base, 81 at second, 72 at third, 65 at short, 98 at left field, 70 in center, and an 86 rating at right field. 75 range, 71 error, 71 arm, and 71 turn double play in the infield. Outfield-wise, 80 range, 66 error, and 70 on the arm. 93 speed, 98 stealing, 95 base running as well. Now, this guy could be pretty much a really good super utility card for any team at this point in the cycle. His career, he had 307, 389, 528, 68 career home runs, 309 RBI. His nickname, El Inmortal. Pretty cool stuff right there. One of the most versatile athletes to ever play baseball. You know, played as a two-way player, so we're going to see some pitching ratings here in a little bit. Played 12 seasons in the Negro Leagues, played in some of the Mexican and Cuban leagues as well. And he actually became a radio announcer for the Cuban Winter League after his career was over playing-wise. He was inducted in 1977 into the National Baseball Hall of Fame via the Negro League Committee, and he's the only player to be inducted into 5 Baseball Halls of Fame. The American one, the Cuban Baseball Hall of Fame, the Mexican Baseball Hall of Fame, the Dominican Republic's National Baseball Hall of Fame, and the Venezuelan Baseball Halls of Fame. Pretty cool stuff right there. So now let's take a look at his pitching stats here, because they are pretty darn good right here for what kind of a card this is. 85 stuff, 82 movement, 81 home run rating, 66 pitcher BABIP, and 89 on the control. Fastball, curveball, cutter combo on this one. Little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. 88 stuff, 83 movement, 82 homer, 67 pitcher BABIP, 90 control, but it is not by much. Only about a 5-point difference in stuff, couple point difference in movement, couple point difference in homer, 3-point difference in pitcher BABIP, and only a 1-point difference in control. 89 stamina, 79 hold runners can throw, 90 to 92 on the fastball as well. At this stage in the cycle, it is a pretty nice thing to have kind of a two-way player like this that can both hit and pitch and play practically everywhere on the diamond, except for catcher. Martine, what are you doing, my man? Why didn't you convince your manager to have you play catcher at least once in your career? We could have had it all. Could have had it all. Oh, my goodness. But you know what? This is easily probably one of the best cards in the game right now. He played 6 innings there. He played just 6 innings. Not enough innings, man. Not enough innings, man. Darn. But there you go. Martine Digo. What a guy. What a guy this guy is. This guy can hit. This guy can pitch. Holy moly. All right, guys. Well, let's move on now to the mission rewards. And oh boy, we got some mission rewards for you here. Now, if you recall, we're going to have 3 missions that are going to release with the Negro League set. That's going to be for Fielders, Hurlers 1, and Hurlers 2. And here's what you're going to get from those mission rewards. For Hurlers 1, if you complete that mission, you will receive 100 overall right-handed starter Jose Mendez. Jose Mendez, 91 stuff, 88 movement, 88 home run rating, 61 pitcher BABIP, and 94 control. Lot better against righties than he is against lefties. Very, very splitty here. 98 stuff, 95 movement, 94 home run rating, 66 pitcher BABIP, 96 control just against righties. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, and splitter combo. 94 stamina, 35 on the hold runners. Mendez, in his career, just look at these stats right here. Just absolutely incredible. 116 and 37 record, a 2.22 ERA, 125 on the ERA plus. Now, Mendez got pretty much put his name on the baseball map in 1908, in the middle of the second occupation of Cuba. The Cincinnati Reds were visiting Havana playing some Cuban League teams, and Mendez absolutely dominated their behinds, all right? Pitched 25 consecutive scoreless innings in 3 appearances during that series. In his first start, he allowed just 1 single by Miller Huggins in the 9th inning while striking out 9. His next appearance held the Reds scoreless in relief for 7 innings on just 2 hits, and he concluded with another 9-inning shutout. So, if you're a math major, that is a 2-0 record, 0 on the ERA, 3 games, 25 innings pitched, 8 hits, no runs, 24 strikeouts to 3 walks. Now, several days later, his team, Almendales, played a minor league all-star team from the Key West area, and Mendez pitched 2 more shutouts, giving him 43 consecutive scoreless innings against major and minor league competition. The second shutout, a no-hitter. Whoo, Nelly. Whoo, Nelly. This guy, just an absolutely dominant pitcher. In terms of hitting, 34 contact, 15 power, 68 eye, 40 on the sac bunt. So not the best hitter in the world, but overall, oh boy, this guy, absolutely incredible, both in the Cuban League and in the Negro Leagues. He played for the Detroit Stars in 1919, played with the Kansas City Monarchs from 20 to 26, played for the Cuban Stars from 09 to 12, Los Angeles White Sox, Chicago American Giants. Just absolute incredible player. So there you go. Jose Mendez, your Hurlers 1 mission reward. Now for the Fielders mission reward. Let's go to a guy that when last year's Negro League set was released, this guy, a sneakily decent corner outfielder with some power. And that, my friends, is 100 overall center fielder Turkey Stearns. Turkey Stearns, 82 BABIP, 113 power, 71 avoid K, 106 contact, 92 gap power, and 75 on the eye. Gobble, gobble, everybody. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. Has 114 power. 114 power against righties. 108 contact, 93 gap power, 75 eye, 82 BABIP, 73 avoid K. A little bit better than he is against lefties. Can play left, can play center, can play right. Probably going to be a lot more valuable for some teams, mainly in the corner outfield, with 82 range, 78 error, 82 on the outfield arm, 81 speed, 86 stealing, 84 base running as well. This is a solid card right here. In his career, 348, 417, 616 on the slash line, with 187 homers. This is the all-time Negro League home run leader in terms of official stats. Led the Negro Leagues in homers 5 times, played from 1923 to 1940 for a number of different teams. Played for the Nashville Giants, mainly known for his time with the Detroit Stars from 1923 to 1931. Played for the Chicago American Giants for a few years, Kansas City Monarchs for a few stints. But yeah, and a plaque in Turkey Stearns' honor is on display outside the center field gate at Comerica Park, the Detroit Tigers' home stadium. And a display in Stearns' honor is on display along the third base concourse at the corner ballpark, the historic site of Old Tiger Stadium at the intersection of Michigan and Trumbull. And he is one of 9 players in Negro League history to have won multiple batting titles, with only Josh Gibson and Oscar Charleston having more than Stearns, who won twice. So there you go. Turkey Stearns, your fielder's mission reward in Perfect Team 24. And now your hurlers 2 mission reward, folks. If there is one guy that we need to have in this set for our first Negro League set of the year, we need to have the father of black baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, the 100 overall right-handed starter, Rube Foster. 97 stuff, 86 movement, 79 home run rating, 87 pitcher BABIP, and 93 control. Oh boy. This has got to be one of the best pitchers in the game at this point right now. Against lefties, 100 stuff, 87 movement, 80 home run rating, 89 pitcher BABIP, and 91 on the control. Against righties, 96 stuff, 85 movement, 78 homer, 85 pitcher BABIP, and 94 control. Fastball, slider, curveball, screwball, and changeup combo on this guy. Big screwball guy right here. 96 screwball for Rube Foster. 110 stamina, 49 on the hold runner. This guy was a fantastic player in his career, but he's a lot more known for establishing the Negro National League in 1920, the first long-lasting professional league for African American ball players. Foster, Taylor, and the owners of 6 other Midwestern clubs met in the spring that year to form a professional baseball circuit for African American teams. He controlled league operations while remaining owner and manager of the Chicago American Giants. Now, as American Giants, he won the new league's first 3 pennants before being overtaken by the Kansas City Monarchs in 1923. So this guy, pretty much, he was the first representative of the Negro Leagues elected as a pioneer or executive to the National Baseball Hall of Fame for his work in establishing the Negro National League, the first black baseball league that was really well organized here. 23-10 in his career, a 2.31 ERA in 330 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts per 9. So he wasn't a bad pitcher on the mound either in his career. So there you go. Rube Foster, your Hurlers 2 mission reward in Perfect Team 24. Now, if you complete all 3 of these missions, you will receive a topper card. And that topper card is 100 overall shortstop Willie Wells. Willie Wells, 76 BABIP, 90 power, 72 avoid K, 94 contact, 96 gap power, 89 on the eye. This is a sick card right here. Very even splits against both lefties and righties. Has some very good defense as well. 91 range, 92 error, 93 arm, and 92 turnable play. On the infield, has a little bit of outfield eligibility as well. 63 range, 54 error, 50 on the outfield arm. First base, shortstop, left field eligibility for Willie Wells. 90 speed, 96 stealing, 93 on the base running. Willie Wells played for a darn long time in the Negro Leagues. 1924 all the way to 1948 for various teams in both the Negro Leagues and in Latin America. Hit .330 in his career, .407 average, .535 slugging, 140 homers, 873 RBI, and he is widely considered by a lot of people there to be one of the best black shortstops of his day. We talked a little bit about Pop Lloyd. These guys, both him and Pop Lloyd, considered, probably some of the best shortstops that black baseball has ever seen. Pretty good stuff. He was a fast base runner, hit for both power and average, played mostly for the St. Louis Stars from 1924 to 1931, played a couple of years for the Homestead Grays, played a season for the Monarchs, played a few years for the Chicago American Giants, played for the Newark Eagles for a few years, kind of bounced around a little bit as well. He was a 10-time All-Star in the Negro Leagues as well, won a couple of Negro National League pennants. Twice he was named the Cuban League MVP 1929-1930 and 1939-1940 season. He was a batting champion in 1930, Triple Crown in 1930, and has the Negro National League record for most home runs in a season with 27 of them in the 1926 season. So there you go. He's also the first player in baseball to use a batting helmet as well. And he only did that after being hit and receiving a concussion while playing with the Newark Eagles. And his first helmet was just a simple construction helmet. So pretty cool stuff right there. Willie Wells, your Negro League One complete reward. Pretty cool stuff right there. Now let's take a look at some of the other players that you will find in today's set. You got guys like Dave Malarker, Darlty Cooper, Bruce Petway, Connie Rector, Mac Eggleston, Willie Bobo, Dink Mavel, Lenny Pearson, Poindexter Williams, Candy Jim Taylor, Eustaquio Pedroso, Quincy Troop, Henry Kimbrough, Terrace McDuffie, Frankie Austin, Crush Holloway, Heliodoro Diaz, Frank Grant, Double Duty Radcliffe. Yes, Double Duty is back. Oscar Levis, Pythias Russ, Pat Scantlebury, I believe that's a new player as well. Sammy Hughes, Dobie Moore, Willard Brown. Hey, we already talked about him. Why is he in this list? Slim Jones, Rap Dixon, Fats Jenkins, Smokey Joe Williams, Spotswood Poles. Oh boy, there's going to be some speed in Diamond, my friends. Louis Tiant Sr., not the guy who pitched for the Red Sox, but his dad, and Louis Santop coming down the line here today. So a lot of cool stuff in this Negro Leagues One set. Now you see that there's a number one with this set. That means there's going to be some more Negro League players coming later this year. And honestly, I didn't even list all the players that are in this set, so have fun looking for a lot of these players in packs coming up here today. But you look at the list that I have. You look at the list we have. You take a look at the cards that we revealed with this set. Doesn't it feel like we're missing something? It feels like we are missing something. Someone who was so influential in in baseball history for a lot of things, not just for playing a little bit in the Negro Leagues, but also playing in Major League Baseball. Hold up, I'm getting a call. Hang on. Shoot. Hey, yo, Nico, how you doing, bud? Yeah? Is it time? Yeah, I think it's time too. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you our first player partnership of the Perfect Team 24 cycle, the Jackie Robinson Collection. The Jackie Robinson Collection, our first player partnership of Perfect Team 24 with packable cards and missions. Let's talk about it before we get to the cards. So here's how this is going to work. Today, we will be releasing Iron through Perfect cards based on several years of Jackie Robinson's career. Now, the Iron, Bronze, and Silver cards are going to be exclusively in packs, while the Gold card, the Diamond card, and the Perfect cards will be in missions. Now, if you lock the Iron, Bronze, and the Silver card, you're going to unlock the Gold automatically, and there's going to be separate missions to complete the Diamond Jackie and the Perfect Jackie, with pack rewards at each step. Now, we mentioned a little bit during the reveal stream that there's going to be some charity live streams that are going to be surrounding these. Those are coming soon, so stay tuned to your news feeds. We're going to talk about those once they come around. And let me tell you guys, these cards are absolutely gorgeous. And, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Let's get started, and you'll see why these are some gorgeous freaking cards. All right, folks, here we go. First up, we have 59 overall third baseman from the 1955 Brooklyn Dodgers, Jackie Robinson. 57 BABIP, 44 power, 83 avoid K, 65 contact, 40 gap power, and 88 on the eye. We have player pictures for every single Jackie Robinson card we are showing today. I am so excited about this. He can play third. He can play a little bit of left field. 79 range, 73 error, 83 arm, and 79 on the turn. Double play, 71 speed, 80 stealing, and 82 base running as well. It's going to be a little bit better against righties than it is against lefties, but you're going to get a little bit more BABIP and a little more power against lefties and a little more contact overall against lefties. But against righties, you're going to get better avoid K, and you're going to get a better eye and a better gap power, all things considered here. So Jackie Robinson, his 1955 season, this was his, this was his only season actually below a 100 OPS plus. This was kind of an older version of Jackie Robinson. I believe he was age 36 at this time. 256, 378, 363 average slugging in this season. 8 homers, 36 RBI. Walked 61 times during the year, struck out just 18 times. But this was kind of a bit of a power outage season for Jackie Robinson. Only 6 doubles, 2 triples in 105 games, 81 hits on the year, and he missed 49 games during the season, which was unfortunate. And, their manager at this time was trying to kind of experiment, trying to get Jackie in the lineup. He tried him out at third base, tried him out in left field as well. And, defensively, when you look at Jackie Robinson's stats from 1955, this was, not his best season of his career defensively, but it was at least not terrible. 2.6 wins above replacement, arguably, his lowest season in terms of WAR, but, still solid defensively in terms of iron. Not going to strike out a lot. Going to get you some walks. A little bit of contact here and there. This probably won't be too bad of an iron card, hopefully. So there you go. Jackie Robinson, the 59 overall version of Jackie Robinson. Let's go ahead and go to his bronze card. Let's go to his bronze card on this collection, and it is a 69 overall card. Man, look at the color on this one. Look at the color on this one. Holy cow. It's just vivid color right here. 75 BABIP, 50 power, 81 avoid K, 81 contact, 68 gap power, 64 I. A lot better against lefties than he is against righties. 78 BABIP, 59 power, 86 avoid K, 89 contact, 86 gap power, and 82 on the eye. Now, this was when Jackie Robinson, this is his rookie year card right here. 1947, played first base for pretty much the whole season. But, as you can see, he is qualified to learn second base and third base as well. 68 range, 54 error, 65 arm, and 67 on the turn double play. So he can be useful at second and third if you do train him up there, play him in league play. He won't be too bad, but he also won't be too good at defense. But, first base eligibility, not too bad right there. 92 speed, 86 stealing, 92 base running. So you're going to get pretty good speed out of him. Pretty good stealing ability as well. Spray hitter, line drive hitter kind of guy. Now, Jackie Robinson won the first ever Rookie of the Year award in 1947 while he broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Hit 297, 383, 427. He was a sensation in 1947 statistically. 12 homers, 48 RBI to go along with 29 stolen bases. Led the National League in stolen bases that year, as well as sacrifice hits with 28 of them. So that was pretty good stuff right there. And in terms of offensive wins above replacement, 4.3 WAR on that. He had 4.1 WAR overall in 1947. One of his, middling, well, not middling season, but kind of low down there on wins above replacement, but split-wise, he was not bad against lefty pitching that year. If I can open up Baseball Reference and we can get to those V-left splits here. And of course, Baseball Reference taking a lot of time to load. Versus lefties, he hit 313, 411, 498 with 8 of his 12 homers that year, coming off lefties in 217 at-bats, 909 OPS. Now compare that to his splits against righties, which honestly weren't bad either. 287, 367, 386 that year, 4 homers, 29 RBI, and a 753 OPS. So there you go. Jackie Robinson from 1947 is the bronze card in this collection. Now let's move on to his silver card. Let's go to his silver card, which is a 78 overall. And this is where you start seeing a little bit more infield positional flexibility for Jackie Robinson. This is his 1956 season. 61 BABIP, 59 power, 83 avoid K, 73 contact, 54 gap power, and 86 I. Some very interesting splits here. All right. A lot better against lefties than he is against righties, but against righties, we're going to get a little more avoid K. Going to get a little more I as well by about, a little more I, 21 more points of I against righties right here. First base, second base, third base eligibility, 80 range, 85 error, 84 arm, and 85 on the turn double play. 55 speed, 65 stealing, and 89 on the base running, 50 sack bunt, and 84 on the bunt for hit. 275, 382, 412 during the 1956 season, his final season in the major leagues. 10 home runs, 43 RBI, and a 107 OPS plus. Now, Jackie Robinson, he was getting kind of up there in age. All right. Jackie Robinson really, really was getting up there in age at this point. And in 1956, very, very good stuff here. 61 runs scored, 12 stolen bases. And he ended his career when he struck out to end Game 7 of the 1956 World Series. And after the season, a lot of people don't know this about Jackie Robinson. The Dodgers actually traded Jackie Robinson to the arch-rival New York Giants for Dick Littlefield and $35,000 cash. However, that trade was never completed, because unbeknownst to the Dodgers, Jackie Robinson had already agreed with the president of the Chock full of Nuts company to quit baseball and become an executive with the company. And because Robinson, and I'm just reading off of Wikipedia here, since Robinson had sold exclusive rights to any retirement story to Look magazine 2 years previously, his retirement decision was revealed through the magazine instead of through the Dodgers organization. So either way, Jackie Robinson had a fantastic year in 1956. And defensively, I was going to make the point with the bronze card, but I forgot that the bronze card, wasn't the best one that I saw with defense here. But his 2 defensive wins above replacement during the 1956 season, second highest defensive WAR season of his career. 2 defensive wins above replacement, only behind his 1951 season. Awesome, awesome stuff. So there you go. Jackie Robinson from the 1956 season is the silver card in our Jackie Robinson collection. Let's go to the mission cards that you will get for completing the missions for Jackie Robinson. Let's start with the gold card, which is 89 overall from the 1948 season. 69 BABIP, 56 power, 80 avoid K, 78 contact, 76 gap power, 55 I. Look at the action shot on this one. Whew, sliding into home plate. You love to see it. Love to see it. Now, some interesting splits with this Jackie card here. All right. Going to have a little more BABIP against righties. Even power against both lefties and righties. You're going to have a lot more avoid K against righties. A lot more contact. A little more gap power against lefties, and which is kind of bucking a trend here from some of the previous cards in this collection. Gonna have a little more I against lefties than you will against righties. Now you can play first, second, and third on this card. 68 speed, 59 stealing, 89 on the base running, 85 range, 75 error, 63 infield arm, and 93 on the turn double play. 1948 season for Jackie Robinson. This was his second year in the major leagues in 1948. Hit 296, 367, 453, 12 homers, 85 RBI, had 22 stolen bases as well. Now, this was his first year as a second baseman, taking over for Eddie Stanky this year. Hit for the cycle on August 29th that year, finished 15th in National League MVP voting. 5.3 wins above replacement, which was, pretty big upgrade from his 1948 season. And it was a lot more valuable defensively that year as well. Compared to a negative 0.9 defensive wins above replacement in 1947, he had a positive 1 defensive wins above replacement in 1948. Honestly, my personal opinion, you could probably chalk that up to the position change that Jackie Robinson had from first base to second base. And it was a 1.2 WAR increase from his rookie year at 4.1 wins above replacement, 5.3 during the 1948 season. During that during that season, 1948, he also led the National League in times hit by pitch with 7. So there's that as well. So there you go, Jackie Robinson, gold card from his 1948 season in Perfect Team 24. Breeding missing, stealing home plate 89. Probably. All right, next up, let's go to the diamond card. Let's go to the diamond card for this one. It is a 99 overall card from his 1954 season, and we see Jackie here in his Kansas City Monarchs uniform for this one here. It's 85 BABIP, 76 power, 91 avoid K, 103 contact, 72 gap, and 79 on the eye. Now we're getting into some blue bars. We're getting some teal bars right here on his hitting stats. Against lefties, 94 BABIP, 71 power, 82 avoid K, 106 contact, 67 gap, and 42 on the eye. Now, against righties, 82 BABIP, 78 power, 94 avoid K, 103 contact, 74 gap, and 91 on the eye. I have a feeling we're going to need to get to the splits here for his 1954 season. Because let's talk about his versus lefty statistics from 1954. Against lefties, 362, 413, 535 in just 58 at-bats. So there's a little bit of small sample size here with this one. All right. Only 4 walks and 5 strikeouts, which is probably how we got to this kind of a low eye here against lefties. He can play third base. He can play left field during this 1954 season. He can play them pretty well, honestly. 80 range, 66 error, 94 arm, and 62 turn double play on the infield. In the outfield, 67 range, 113 error, and 62 on the arm. 58 speed, 70 stealing, 87 on the base running. 311, 413, 505 in his 1954 season. 15 homers, 59 RBI, and 135 OPS plus. He was an all-star in his 1954 season. This was the last season that he was an all-star in Major League Baseball. And it was only his second year playing mainly left field, and his only season with less than 10 stolen bases. So that's why you kind of see a little bit less speed, a little less stealing than some of the other Jackie Robinson cards that we'll have in this collection. So there you go. He can also play a little bit of first and second as well. He is qualified to learn both first and second base. However, he doesn't have any stock ratings there. Something to keep in mind if you're thinking about tournaments as well with this guy. So there you go. Jackie Robinson from the 1954 Brooklyn Dodgers. Look at those V-right splits, though. Those are some solid V-right splits right there. I mean, 103 contact, 94 avoid K, 91 I. That is solid stuff. Solid stuff right there. Alrighty, folks. If you collect all of these cards, do all the missions for the Jackie Robinson collection, you will receive this beautiful, absolutely outstanding 100 overall Jackie Robinson card. Look at this card right here. 91 BABIP, 66 power, 91 avoid K, 104 contact, 94 gap power, 76 on the eye versus lefties. 93 BABIP, 64 power, 94 avoid K, 107 contact, 99 gap power, 78 on the eye. Very good against righties as well. 97 speed, 117 stealing, 96 base running, and he can play practically anywhere. First base, second base, third base, left field. Look at the defense here. 97 range, 85 error, 85 arm, 96 turn double play, 85 range, 88 error, and 83 on the outfield arm. Whoo, Nelly. This guy, early on in this cycle, is, in my personal opinion, the best second baseman in this game at this point, and probably will be for quite a little bit. Jackie Robinson, this is his peak card here in Perfect Team 24. 313, 410, 477 on the slash line in his career. 141 homers, 761 RBI, 1947 Rookie of the Year, 1949 MVP, 6-time All-Star, led the NL in stolen bases twice, 1949 batting champ. Whoo, Nelly. This is just an absolutely fantastic card here to honor one of the great players and one of the most pioneering players in Major League Baseball history. First player to break the color barrier in Major League Baseball, Jackie Robinson, one of the most influential players in MLB history. And I think this card is a very worthy representation of Jackie Robinson as we approach Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball. Everyone in MLB wearing the number 42 to honor his legacy, to honor his, his courage, his everything about him, really. So there you go. Jackie Robinson, peak card in Perfect Team 24 is a mission reward for this one, for this Jackie Robinson collection. So there you go. The complete collection of Jackie Robinson cards. The iron, bronze, and silver are going to be in packs. The gold, diamond, and perfect are mission rewards. So there you go. Oh man, some great freaking content this week, guys. Jackie Robinson collection, our first player partnership of the Perfect Team 24 cycle. We have our first Negro League set as well. Now, before we sign off, I do want to give a shout out to our weekly leaderboard champions. For last week, April 3rd through the 9th, the Daily Iron leaderboard champ was Mawiffin with 109 points with his Tavistock base Ballersons. The Daily Bronze leaderboard champ was Jim Bowden and the Sacramento River Cats with 104 points. Daily Silver weekly leaderboard champ was Go Cubs Go 16 and the Webster Grove Supercells with 148 points. The Daily Gold weekly leaderboard champ was Jeff LTN and the Value City Viffers with 130 points. He also was the weekly leaderboard champ in the Daily Diamond with 170 points. Daily Open, Baw 5 and the Houston Slumpbusters with 149 points. The Daily Wildcard Tournament leaderboard champs was Khan and the Vlad News Bears with 205 points. Weekly tournaments, your leaderboard champ for last week was Laertes and the New Orleans Crescents with 149 points. Perfect Draft Daily Tournaments, Khan, once again, the Vlad News Bears, was the weekly leaderboard champ last week with 121 points. And the Perfect Draft Weekly Tournament was Jake P316 taking the leaderboard champ this past week with 73 points. If you want to see your name on this leaderboard, play some daily tournaments, play some weekly tournaments, play some Perfect Draft daily and weekly tournaments. There are some fun stuff waiting for you there. They're always a fun time. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of This Week in Perfect Team. I will see you here tomorrow night for some Friday Showdown action. That's right, I got in the tournament this week, folks. We are in the tournament this week. We're going to have some fun tomorrow night. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Cards are live right now. Cards are live. Missions should be coming shortly as of, 1:34 p.m. Eastern. By the time you're watching the replay here at 9 o'clock Eastern, they will have already been out and all that good stuff. So there you go. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for the Friday Showdown. This has been Rob Tomlinson, aka DishNet34. Signing out. Have a great day, everybody.